Hey, you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the north, more specifically, the windy, frighteningly cold city of Chicago, Illinois. And even more specifically than that, I'm in front of the Medieval Torture Museum here, right smack dab in the middle of Chicago. Now, the sister location for the Medieval Torture Museum has existed for a few years in St. Augustine, Florida. Out of nowhere, a incredibly detailed torture museum popped up in front, over top an ice cream parlor in St. Augustine, where little kids could get their ice cream and then go upstairs and be completely horrified. But in recent times, a second location has popped up here in downtown Chicago. I've been to the St. Augustine location. I have not been here to the Chicago Medieval Torture Museum, and we're about to change that. So please follow me. Alright, start up with this wall of skulls, and we will head up this very spooky staircase. Oh, this is spooky. I was gonna hit the restroom real quick before I started checking out the exhibits. Look at the women's restroom has a chastity belt strapped to the door. And the men's restroom has whatever that is. I always love when they extend the theming into the bathroom. Oh my gosh, there's a guillotine in the bathroom. Oh, looks like we got a lot of torture to get to up here. We start out with the Glasgow Smile. You can see where this man has had a little extra length added to his smile, giving him a little bit of extra smiling power. So help him smile a little wider. It's our punishment for gambling. These are like big giant wooden novelty dice that you would strap to someone and force them to walk around. There's a little torture station where you can strap someone in, put that around their neck, strap their arms and legs down, and then just go to town on them with these gardening like tools, but they aren't for growing flowers. They're for primarily ripping flesh. Here is a cage used for imprisonment. I've often seen these called pirate cages, where they would put pirates in these tiny cages and hang them as a warning to other pirates. We see this woman has become mummified inside. This here is known as the breast terror. That's pretty horrifying. And then we have this guy here who's just been set out and cooked like a burger on this grill, and you can see by the stripes on him that his top side has already been done. I guess they grilled his top side and then flipped him over to get him all the way done. This device here is a witch dunker. So you would take an alleged witch, strap her to that, and then you can actually dunk her in the water. If she drowns, then if she was not a witch, if she lives, she is a witch, so then she gets some sort of other form of punishment. And I guess this is actually, you can actually use this witch dunker. If you look at this, you're actually dunking her in a real barrel of water there. See how her water's running off of her hair. Ghoulish. This person's unfortunately had their head chopped off and put in a wicker basket with the help of this guillotine. And I guess we're allowed to operate this one as well. Here's the hand torture station. You can see these hands have different methods of torture. Oh my gosh, this is making me cringe. This has that nail pulled off. That freaks me out. Oh, that is a piece of wood stuck under the nail. Oh my gosh. These torturers, they have no decency. Oh, that fingers have been cut off. That person has a broken thumb. Oh my gosh. This guy has had his hands completely chopped off, but from the looks of it, he's just relieved because he doesn't want to have him tortured anymore. He's just happy to be rid of him. Here's two men being hung. Said that in New Hampshire and Washington, it is still possible to execute prisoners as a form of the death penalty by hanging them. Ooh. Here is a torture table set up. You see the torturer wearing a very spooky torture mask. And look at that, he is going to town with that torture rake on this poor woman. What could she have possibly done to deserve that torture? Here are masks of shame. They'd make people wear these as a form of humiliation. Make you look like a big pig head, or have a guy with big ears and a long nose like me. I'm not sure what these objects are. A little workstation here and we can handle the torture items. I think these are like little, for like branding people, little tiny brand. Eat that up and burn people. And here's some large brands to brand your symbol in someone. That looks almost like a big cookie cutter you would burn in someone. Oh yeah, these are psycho. Who would want to brand somebody? This big torture wheel here has a decrepit skeleton on it. That person's been through way too much torture. It's called the violin of gossipers. It's used to punish people who would gossip. So I guess this old Puritan lady was running her mouth too much, and they strapped this on her where it makes her sit in a weird position with her hands out in front of her. Probably pretty uncomfortable. And this one here, this is the violin of gossipers. This is the flute of shame, which that would go around your neck and make it look like you were playing a flute. Your fingers would hook in there. How humiliating is it to be made to look like you're walking around playing a flute all the time? Now that there is the look of someone who's sick of being tortured. This is the fork of the heretic. Apparently if you say something heretical, you say that you don't believe in God, you say you don't want to go to church, they put this around your neck, it jabs into your chin, and apparently that's so sadistic that it says people would try to end it by just pushing down on it, but they actually would calculate it specifically so they could not cause themselves to be ended. Torturers think of everything. This is the Spanish horse, where they strap weights to the feet of a person and then force them to be pulled down crotch first onto this horse. It's a form of torture. And the fact that they put an adorable little horsey head on it, to me that just makes it even more sick. Now this is what is known as a bloody eagle, where they pull your lungs out through your back. That's pretty, yeah, let's don't look at that no more. But when they pull your lungs out of your back, that's what your face looks like. Alright, we can operate the blood eagle by turning this so we can get him to rotate. Oh, that. Oh, walk it off, buddy. It looks, you'll be fine. This is called the piercing of the tongue, used when you slander someone, when you say bad things about someone. They nail your tongue to a pole. It seems, I don't know, sometimes it feels like they're trying to make the punishment fit the crime, but that seems disproportionate. This guy here apparently has had his eyeballs burned out, and yeah, he's just sitting there wishing he had eyes. Here's an executioner next to a manual guillotine. Apparently this didn't have the rope that dropped the sharp blade. You just had to stick someone's head in there and then chop it off with an axe or a big hammer. I don't know, did they use the hammer? Or did they just smash their head to pieces? That's pretty graphic. He's just holding that head like it's normal. Okay, this rope says pull here. See, pull. I don't know what's in this box. Oh, it's a box of severed heads. Okay. Glad we pulled on that. This gentleman here is being tortured by having his body put in a barrel. They cut out a little circle for his head, and then there's a bunch of bugs and gross centipedes and maggots crawling all over his body, and he just has to deal with it. Like some of them are even crawling up over his face. Oh, it sucks being in a barrel full of bugs. Here is Joan of Arc being burned at the stake for heresy. Heresy, see, back in the day, you did not want to do the heresy. You would definitely pay for doing the heresy. Come on, let him up, let him up. I think he's had enough. Here we have another interactive display, the Crusher. Pull this string here. I'll give it a good tug. Give it a good pull. Oh, pulling. Oh man, this is heavy. Okay. Let me see. Oh, a little more. Okay, I think I got it up there. Guy being crushed there. I guess we'll let go. Oh. I don't know why. I don't know why I listen to those little signs. I feel like a monster now. The flagellation section. These are whips used to flagellate. We have this woman here in her prom dress tied to this wooden table. And someone has been flagellating away. This is the brazen bowl. It's a metal bowl that you would actually put someone inside it and then heat the bowl up from the outside, causing the person to have severe burns on the inside. And the story I heard is that the person invented this, showed it to the king, and to prove that it worked, the king had the guy that built it put inside and cooked alive. So he was rewarded for his troubles. But this is another one where we pull. Let's see what's inside the brazen bowl. Oh yeah, there's a guy in there. Looks like he does not like being in the brazen bowl. These are torture shoes. There's the old-fashioned ball and chain. This guy is being weighted down with heavy objects and chains. He's even got a heavy mask on his face, like the man in the Iron Mask. Oh man, that's super gross right there. Tortured by snakes. I'm supposed to lift this up. Oh, this guy's just in a basket full of snakes, and the snake is biting his face. This chair full of spikes here has a sign that says, "Do not sit here." I guess, you know, I wasn't really tempted. I wasn't going to sit in it because it has spikes all over it. This might be funny if it wasn't so horrible. This guy here is having every part of his body crushed in these clamps at the same time. He's got his head in a clamp, each one of his hands in a clamp. He is in a world of clamp pain. This torture chair here, this has everything you need for torture. You squeeze their ankles, squeeze their feet, squeeze their head, and it even has a hole in the bottom for when they poop themselves because they're so distressed with all the torture. Here is the torturer getting ready to remove this man's tongue. I don't know, I'd keep it in my mouth. But I guess he's going after it with these pliers. Yikes. Here's a body cage that's very small and customized. See the spooky skeleton stuck inside. There's a pendulum, and we can operate this one. Oh yeah, look at that. You can swing the pendulum back and forth. I guess that would lay someone there and it would slice them like lunch meat. There's another guy in a barrel. I guess this one's not as bad. This barrel's not full of creepy crawly insects. It's full of icy cold water. So this is a punishment for drunkenness Although it did say on the sign over there that sometimes instead of cold water they would fill the barrel with poop. This is a medal for drunkenness. So apparently if you get drunk enough they give you a medal, wink wink medal, because it's not a good medal to have because it weighs 17 pounds and it's attached to your body and locked to you, so you have to stumble around drunk with a 17-pound weight around your neck. It doesn't really feel like a major award. Bet you're wondering what this guy is so upset about. Well, he has a cage of rats on his chest, and they put a little bit of fire on top of the cage so the rats get scared, and then they burrow down into his chest. And yeah, he wasn't counting on becoming a habit trail. In this cage right here, this guy here is being subjected to the Cradle of Judah. It's this device that's underneath him there. And it said on the sign that this was considered one of the more humane methods of torture, and it says it was primarily used to keep people from falling asleep. Yeah, I don't think he doesn't look like he's getting ready to fall asleep, does he? Oh, and there's the executioner himself. He looks like the meanest man in the world. Look at him. Oh, look at his eyes. Now this is interesting. I didn't expect to see someone in a leisure suit, but I guess he's showing off his Colombian necktie, which is when they pull your tongue out through a hole in your throat. Oh, that's not the kind of tie I want to wear to church. Oh, here's the witch scales. I can find out once and for all if I'm a witch or not. What the different rankings. Oh, you can actually be a goblin, an imp, or a witch. I'm a witch, I guess. Oh, this guy looks rough. His legs are all dirty, and that one is bloated with infection. Here it is, the Iron Maiden, one of the most famous torture devices known to man. Unfortunately, it was never used and never existed except for fake replicas. It actually does mention here that it is not real, that it was a fake invention of the Enlightened Ages. Oh my gosh. These people here have been impaled. Oh man, it makes me wonder if Vlad's around. Yeah, I just don't ever want to be impaled. So thank you for joining me here at the Medieval Torture Museum here in Chicago, Illinois. A museum that maybe looks more like a haunted attraction than an actual museum, but it did have accurate information, and it did have very detailed figures. You could definitely see the torture in the figures. But if you like these videos, consider subscribing. I film roadside attractions, amusement parks, museums, and haunted houses, and other fun random stuff. If you'd like to support the channel, consider donating to Patreon. $3 or more will get you a postcard once a month. Also selling enamel pins. All that helps keep this train on the tracks, this boat in the water, and this dirigible in the air. Until next time, my friends, this one's in the bag.